Hey, this is Mekus again with the Continence Club, and I'm bringing you yet another presentation on the fundamental understanding of your thoughts. And so in this video today, in this presentation, I am going to give you another fundamental understanding of the power of your thoughts, and we're going to retrain your thought processes throughout this presentation so that once you're done listening to every word that I say throughout this video, you can go about your life and realize the importance of each thought that literally comes through your mind, because every single thought is important. Now, with that being said, it's time to demonstrate, and my email's in the description if you want to work with me one-on-one. If you want me to address any additional video topics, I will do so. And so with that being said, I'm going to start off by talking to you today about a quote that I found, an anonymous quote, and it's that a man can change himself, improve himself, recreate himself, control his environment, and master his own destiny is the conclusion of every mind who is wide awake to the power of right thought and constructive action. This applies to my wonderful women as well, and everybody. You know, your thoughts are huge. Your thoughts are more important than you think it is. And to be in tune with eternal truth and control your powerful mind, you must possess poise and harmony within. So you have to be in tune with yourself within. You have to literally take care of your internal state, because the possibilities of your attention when properly directed are so profound that you might not even be able to grasp it. And I talk about it in my videos, the power of your attention, the power of your present moment awareness, and how you direct it is literally correlated with you achieving your desired situation. Your desired situation literally depends on you focusing and controlling your mind, controlling your attention, controlling your perception, because your inner dialogue literally creates, literally in real time, your desired situation. Your inner dialogue up to this point, your character, your concept of self is the reason why you find yourself in your current situation. So essentially, it's your fault. And I know it's something that you don't want to hear, but once you hear this and you take responsibility and accountability, that's when you're going to be able to bridge the gap over to your desired situation. And so that's why after you think about your thought processes and how it pertains to your desired situation, by the end of this video, you are going to be fully equipped to be more aware of your thoughts. And the secret is that all mental power in controlling your mind depends entirely on the mechanism in which you attach it. What is this mechanism I'm talking about? You see, I'm sure that you're always worried about the mechanisms which have been invented by different people throughout history, electricity, all of these different inventions, right, that you've learned in school in your history books. But have you ever thought of the mechanism given to you to transform your current situation? That's your brain. Have you really thought about how powerful your brain is? Especially if you control it, you can control your mind. Have you really thought about that? Yet you're worried about all of these other things that people invented and they all use their brain to be successful. So why can't you? And this is your opportunity to do so. Because the effects of your current situation that you're experiencing right now is the result of your thinking processes. Your brain is the organ in which this is accomplished, right? And I depicted it here because I'm going to step a little bit further now and talk about your nervous system and how that literally correlates with your thought processes and your brain, and how when you use all of these things in tandem, you can leverage it and achieve your desired situation. So the truth is, there's a great mental world in which you live and have your being. The physical world is a result of the spiritual. Everything that you physically touch and see, that chair you're sitting on, the headphones you have in listening to this video, this computer you're watching it on, the phone that you have in your hand watching this video, it all came from a thought first. Somebody imagined it first before it came into fruition. The same applies to your desired situation. It's just not going to fall on your lap. It's not going to come out of nowhere, right? Your desired situation is going to come through the power of your thoughts. So your desired situation responds in direct ratio to your faith and your purpose, your perspective, right? Your perception. This is why it's important for you to be creative and constructive. Produce instead of consume. If you're going to be on social media every day, right? Use it to your advantage. Create on it instead of consuming, because You're going to tap into who you really are. You're going to tap into the power of your creativity, your authenticity, your individuality once you decide to be a creator instead of a consumer. And plus, you're just going to be a lot more fulfilled because you have something to give. You have something to wake up for, right? And so talking a little bit about your nervous system. Your nervous system is like an electrical circuit. That's how I look at it. It's through this channel that your desired situation is carried through the mechanism, which we talked about is your brain. So your spinal cord is the motor and sensory pathway by which your thought transmissions are conveyed through and from the brain. And so you, which is the I, right, as an I am, right, you're giving control over your entire physical being to harmonize your thoughts and create your desired situation. That's the power that you have. And you might not even be aware of it, but I'm bringing awareness to you today. And that awareness is that every thought you have sets your brain cells in action. Literally every single thought that comes across your mind, it rips through the ethers, man. It rips through the air, rips through time, right? And if you're able to control them, refine them, and concentrate them over time, your desired situation yields and will harden into manifestation. I say it all the time in my videos, and I will say it again. It doesn't matter what's true. The only thing that is true is what you think is true, because over time it'll become true, because your thoughts have the power to manipulate physical reality, right? That's the reason why we have all of these things to begin with. Like I said, that chair you're sitting on, that phone you're listening to this video on, that computer you're watching this presentation on, right? It's because over time it hardened into physical manifestation through thought. Somebody thought of it first before it was created. And now you're starting to see how this is all starting to come together and make sense. And so what am I trying to really say here? What I'm really trying to say is that the real battle is within you. It's not in your outside circumstances, right? That car, right, note that you have that you can't really pay off, those bills that you have, your car got towed, you might have lost your job, you're probably looking for a job, right? You probably lost a spouse, right? You probably lost a loved one. You probably just got out of a relationship. Whatever it is that you're dealing with right now in your current situation, right? It's not out of your control. You have all of the control. Matter of fact, the control has been with you since the beginning, since the jump. And so the power isn't in your outside circumstances. It's with your perception, your present moment awareness, your thought power, your thought transmissions. That's where the real battle is. And once you control the way your mind operates, you take your time back and control your desired situations. Because when you control your mind, you essentially have control over your time. Because when you have control over your mind, you're dictating what you're doing with your time, right? And so your attention and concentration is probably, arguably, the most important in the development of your mind capabilities, because you're literally manifesting in real time where your attention and concentration is. You see your concentration right now, your attention right now is on the things that you hate about your current situation. Your attention is concentration is placed right now on what you don't want to see, on how limited you are, on how scarce things are for you. But once you decide to turn that around and focus your attention and concentration on what you're grateful for, on what you do have, on what has been manifested in your reality on your way over to your desired situation, you are going to keep getting more of that, because your thoughts, wherever it is placed on, is literally what you're going to be reaping, right? So your thoughts are essentially the seed. And so now I'm starting to get you to really understand how powerful your thoughts are. And that little thought you have in your head, that voice you have in your head, best believe that is sowing some sort of seed to manifest something in your physical reality. So start to really speak life into yourself and start to think positive so that you can bridge this gap a lot faster to your desired situation. And so cultivation of attention essentially is what separates those who achieve their current and desired situations. Look at anybody that's successful. Matter of fact, look at the successes that you've had in your life. Whether you know it or not, your attention was cultivated to bring that into your situation, to bring that into your success. And so this is important to grasp, because once you control your thoughts, you control the cause, right? Because remember, your thoughts are the seed. Your thoughts is the seed that's being planted. So once you control your thoughts, you're going to control that cause, which leads to controlling effect. Because once you control your thoughts, once you control that seed that was sown, right, you are going to reap that desired effect, that desired situation. And you're going to know you achieved that desired situation because of your thoughts that you've had in the first place. So essentially, once you control the present moment, once you control now with the power of your thoughts, you control the past and you control the future. So essentially, you control the cause, being the past, and you control the effect, which is the future. That is the power of your thoughts. That's the reason why it's important for you to get a grasp of how you think and control your mind, which is the fundamental basis of this channel. Because once you do so, you can literally control your life. And so with that being said, that is the power of your thoughts. And I hope this video is going to help you think a lot more thoroughly. This is Mekus with the Continence Club. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. My email's in the description. Again, if you want to work with me one-on-one, or if you just have video topics for me to address, or if you just want to talk to me, go ahead and reach out. Don't be shy. I will see you on the other side. Until next time, keep going.